back here. We're watching the quarterfinals in the 2025 The Thing in Seattle. You're listening to Ben Johnson alongside.
Yep, Michael White here, coming back from commentary 4 or 5 times yesterday. Looking forward to doing some bracket match today.
Yeah, and we're seeing on the near end, Seattle's Misfits on the far end, representing also the Pacific Northwest, but Vancouver, BC. Hard as foam. Now we're looking at a visual right now. You see Hard as foam, no strangers to the thing. They've had performances as high as second, most recently tied for 5th. BC's top team many years in a row. What do you know about Misfits?
Misfits, I don't think we can call them up and coming anymore. Misfits has really risen to kind of the height of Seattle. They're one of kind of the top 3 teams that compete and practice together. And they're kind of the team to beat now. Fortune's kind of towards the end of their reign, perhaps. They've had a strong run, but Misfits has become a consistent contender high in brackets in the Northwest and traveling.
Love to see it. They are the underdogs right now, taking on Huddersfield. They've got to rest their arms and bodies as the Misfits beat DMV Grizzlies earlier in the bracket.
A tough matchup, as I understand it. I didn't get to watch any of it, but it was a close-fought battle in the end.
So we've got a few jerseys that are being tricky. There's only one real casually confident with the C there, and he's going to be taking the opening toss back with, is that Hung?
That's Vincent Pham here in the middle, yellow shorts. Center. Hung is retreating at the moment.
Okay, I will make sure. They didn't even give Pham the benefit of being on roster.
I'm going to do ready.
Oh, there you go, Vincent Pham, there you go. And then he is wearing...
Oh yeah, we got Logan G on our list as well today. He's not here as well.
Okay, and that will clear things up for me. Meanwhile, those of you that have watched Hard as Foam, shout out to Pete's mom, and Pete's right now watching from the sidelines himself. Let's go! Officer taking the ball, meanwhile. That's a very interesting formation for that double toss back, just to have that ball all the way to the left wing.
Spreading it way wide, willing to sacrifice a little bit of time on that feed just to posture the ball to the far left.
Strusik, other one to receive the toss back. He stays alive on that toss at him. First damage taken up Byron Wong. It's Hard as Foam, player advantage.
It's a good sign to see Brandon Officer throwing that accurately from the start. Looks like he's warmed up.
Ooh, and he is targeted.
Answered.
Finish takes him out. Play call on defense by Willier. Watch out. Misfits targeting and just missing. Hard as Foam. Derek Von Stevie on that left wing.
Looks like we're opening at a slower pace, which is interesting. In contrast to yesterday, these are 40-minute matches. So it looks like teams are coming in a little more patient, willing to control the game and pace from the start.
And the real casually confident is Limbs. Now 3 players remaining for the Misfits. 5 Hard as Foam. A little bit of chatter happening. The refs coming in. Refereed by the outsiders. Recent victors in their bracket. Confirmed a limb. Williams is out. 2v5.
A couple of very clutch players still in for Misfits. Vincent Pham in particular is notorious for making endgame catches. He's wily and very reactive. On the opposite side of Vincent is nicknamed Friendo, Gerard Montejo, I believe. He's a lefty, though.
Yeah, as we just saw.
Easily underestimated.
There's a couple times throughout the tournaments we talked about how sneaky that lefty throw is when you're so conditioned. And a cross, like calling it the Canadian cross here.
Extremely well executed. Didn't
Hard
look like
throw. Pham said, hey, you got me there. Co ends that set.
Those are the kind of situations where Vincent makes that snag. He likes to be up in your face and just make that reactive catch. Sometimes it'll sneak behind his blocker. That's what I thought I heard there,
pull
but
it
just
right in.
bobbled out.
Sometimes a player, you think they're exposed, but then they're actually ready for that quick reaction.
All right, this side ready, this side ready.
Substitution, you got Vincent Pham out for Misfits. They got Josue McIntyre coming in.
Ooh, and he is out quick. Up and ball is out. Decker also on for Hardest Foam. So both players are yet to record their 30 seconds of play. Confident limbed.
John Bell running up to the front line, trying to create a little chaos, maybe trying to bait a ball there. Got caught a little too high, and Cody able to eliminate.
Pump fakes for days. You know that's Hardest Foam. Running away, DVS. He stays alive, but not long. Getting clocked in the noggin there.
Yeah, back to 4-4. It's a big swing. Hardest Foam had control there for a second.
Earlier, getting that shoulder out of the way. And something you mentioned was pace. I would say it's a wise strategy if you're playing against Hardest Foam. Try and slow it down. Whew.
They certainly thrive in that chaos space. They're not afraid of the trade game. They know how to cover their teammates and continue to knock down opponents.
Play call now happening from Hardest Foam. Pump fakes, cross. Oh, good throw. Susik is eliminated, but so is Ko.
Both teams answering aggressively. This pace is picking up.
Willier, 2 balls in hand, same thing with Burke. Williams going in to chat with Officer. Don't call him friendo. Montejo. Missing off target.
Cody Burke, often one of Hardest Foam's late game closers. I'll be curious to see how Misfits approaches this 2-on situation. Cody would be a good hit because he's an aggressive counter, but you run the risk of getting smacked if you ignore the right corner.
Whew. Officer's throw, it just tails away from the body, but not the Burke throw, right on.
Burke knows what he's doing, picking the Misfits apart here. Jordan Williams knows this opponent well, though. This is going to be a slow and steady grind, I imagine.
Wide, Willier getting low. Play call, 2 balls in their hands, ready, set, well wide of target there. Williams getting out of the way of the quick reflexes of the Burke throw.
Both teams really respecting their spacing, not going too high up the court. Hardest Foam was willing to go up to that check line, but not all the way up to the midline. Misfits settling way back, making sure that they're safe.
You got to keep alert. Hardest Foam very quick to transition into offense.
Jordan recognizes the opportunity. The opposing corner gave up ball control, so he was able to focus the shot on Cody there. Unable to get the hit.
Pointing by Burke. Not sure exactly why. Could be saying, I want to throw at him.
Jordan's still willing to rip him. He almost got countered there. He needs to be wary. 2-on-2s are all about making sure that you can maintain survivability. You want to play a 2-on-1 here, not trade.
2-ball block, and that
Beautiful.
trailer does it.
Now Misfits has to maintain discipline here. This is a player that can catch and throw, and he's not going to walk up to the midline.
Brandon Willier, number 12, Hardest Foam. Looks like he's sporting a knee brace.
Misfits playing aggressive, and it works out.
Well-placed balls. 1-1 ball game. Former underdogs lower in the bracket. Really appreciate, we've got a great angle for Officer's throws. A lot of movement.
This should be fun to watch from this angle. He definitely knows how to move the ball, and he can do it in several ways. So it's always interesting to see how he approaches mixing that up throughout the match.
And I would contend that's a great throw to have to go up against Hardest Foam, because they are, especially when they practice amongst themselves, they're just so conditioned to catch the hard fastballs.
Yep.
You can't throw it too fast for them to catch. Big rip.
Especially on day 2. Your arm might not have quite as much pepper as it did yesterday, so you have to be really mindful of how you're throwing the ball.
Co-captain CV, Chris Fallance.
Beautiful rush off the back line. Gerard really demanding attention from the middle with support from Officer, opening the cross for Jordan. That's their bread and butter.
First time I've seen that much hair on Cody for a while. Ooh. Kapow.
Cody's firing on all cylinders. He may be one of our MVPs of this match. Beautiful lefty cross from Gerard.
McIntyre now taking that left wing. Shares the ball with teammates. Ball burden on Misfits. Ball apiece for the Misfit men. Lots of shots fired here by Misfit. That resets the ball burden.
I believe that's a strategic move from Misfits. They like to play off the back line. Since they have the player advantage anyway, they're going to have to relinquish 3 balls. So they're actually operating more offensively from a defensive stance. Even when they have 2 balls, that's where they're looking to capitalize.
Watch out for Captain CV. He's the target. Pushing up with Decker. Decker protecting his teammates, walking it back. Play call time.
Look for the rush off the back line from Misfits.
And a nasty counter by Confident.
Beautiful pre-counter. Saw that he was ignored and took the shot.
Sight unseen. Balls collide, neutralize.
I've lost count of how many times I've seen that happen throughout this tournament. Those direct collisions are great.
Decker sends it at him, and wow, McIntosh was able to have that last-minute head twist to get out of the way.
He's definitely shifty. That's probably McIntyre's biggest strength is his survivability, but don't sleep on his throw. You may not look it, but he can do things that you're never going to expect.
Tell you, man, if McIntyre had his reactions raw and he keeps him on, that would have been an awfully hard smack. Coe getting a ball from the sidelines. 2 balls apiece now for Hardest Foam. That means it's their burden to throw.
All right, Hardest Foam keeping their distance. They may have learned to respect the pressure from John Bell and Jordan on the corners. It'll be interesting to see how Misfits adjust.
Ball's going wide. Decker's pushing them back. Into the gloves of Williams.
Jordan low on the ground.
And okay, hold on. Okay, I thought, okay. For a second, I was like a ball retriever just makes his way all the way on court and starts participating. That's Strusik, who's a player on the team now. As Coe takes a hail of bullets, and Hardest Foam are behind.
2-1 now. Pete Decker may have gotten a little bold with that throw. Jordan was already low and on his knees, and he is already a very dangerous catcher, even when he's standing. But that's how you find out. They're in a position where they can learn from that and come back.
Just over 10 minutes.
Chris Fallon still holding up the left wing. The Hardest Foam. Expect him to get a ball in hand pretty soon. Strusik in the middle, making a play call with Williams and Officer. Misfits ready, set, deliver. Co-captain Wong stays alive.
Beautiful cross, takes the double.
And Officer trades one out, taking out Vinish.
That's the kind of opening you want if you're Hardest Foam. Being able to put a cross on your opponent and get multiple outs when there's 6 players in front of you. It's a lot of efficiency out of that throw.
Burden to throw, Hardest Foam, get ready for Misfits on defense, as you said. Locked and loaded, Officer.
That was close. I think he didn't question it because it may have hit ground first.
That ball was a smack. That was a slap. That went across his face.
That the left to right shift. That's what you got to, the mix up from Officer. You never know if it's going to bend left or right. You just gamble.
Oh, and that one's a hit, that's for sure.
And Cody shows that he can do the same thing. That's, I think, the 3rd time he's answered Brandon Officer's first hit.
Key matchups on the wings right there. Pump fakes, 3v3.
Misfits trying to utilize Jordan's arm. They may have to create some mix-up, though. Jordan may be becoming predictable.
Big shot. Decker just off target a few times here. He was a little too on target earlier with Williams. Ball strafing off body. Play call now, Misfits. Ball apiece. They head into the attack zone.
Misfits has been taking their time here to communicate. I'm a little concerned that it's taking so long. They're really a well-oiled machine when they're playing at their best.
Speaking of just sniping. It's now in the corner, Montejo. Quick defensive play call. He's targeted.
Just clipped. Couldn't tell if that was the ball or him, but he calls himself out. Don't sleep on Jordan, though. This is what he lives for.
Watch out for Williams. Ready, sets. Nothing tricky with that one.
Really targeting Cody aggressively. I'm sure he'd like to have Cody off the court, but that's a wide open right to left cross. If he turns his body like that again, Hard as Foam isn't going to leave him standing alone. They're going to put a ball on him.
First for Decker. Decker exposed at the midcourt, and referees are coming in. Not sure what it is about the Decker move right there that they're.
I wasn't confident there was a hit. Jordan seems to be. Refs just making the decision.
There was, like, whether the ball got dropped in process, that might kind of been part of it.
Yeah, I think it's fair for Pete to let the refs make this decision. He didn't seem to be confident that he got hit, so it's a fair question to ask. Let the refs make that call.
Actually, good work on his team, because I think he kind of had a moment going like, what? Yeah. And he's just a little bit of frustration.
Yep.
And then the team being like, stay on court.
Yeah.
Let this be resolved.
Absolutely. It's fair play. The refs decide to make the call. Now we can move forward.
And we still got a 2v1 here. Burke, CV, ready to go against Williams.
5, 4.
No need for a 2-ball block. Sends it low. CV goes high.
Jordan doing a great job of moving laterally, making it difficult for them to pinpoint where they want to throw at the same time and together.
Whoa, man, speaking of pinpoint, holy, Burke, clearly one of our potential.
Yeah, I think we can probably call it at this point. He's standing out among a crowd of talented throwers. It's a pretty clear sign that Cody's going to continue to play this way throughout the rest of the match.
Thank you to VC Dodgeball for being one of our partners for this tournament. You're watching the 2025 The Thing in Seattle quarterfinals, 2-2, and a false start. Yeah,
that's significant. Once you had your first false start in this rule set, any subsequent false start results in playing down a player, I believe.
Per half.
Per half, yes, per half. But it's any subsequent false start. It's not, I guess, tied to the individual player.
Defensive opening rush for Hard as Foam.
I'll be curious to see if Misfits really tries to explode off of the rushes throughout the rest of this half.
Sorry, all I had was like an ear my noise. It's like that defense from Officer, and we are so close to the play. Big shot. DVS and finish is traded out. He had a hard shot at the midcourt. I believe it was Officer taking the opportunity to take him out.
Yep. Good. Unfortunate hit there, but I like to see Misfits pushing off of the back line the way they were. They weren't watching Hard as Foam throw. They were trying to interrupt whatever they were trying to do. Hard as Foam is one of those teams, I mean, most any team in this tournament, if you allow them to walk up to the front line and throw the way they are capable, it makes it so much harder to outplay them.
Another nasty throw from Chris Valance. A little quiet smile as he heads to the back. Gets another ball. Derek Van Stiebe sharing it with him. Big rip, Officer clipped on the shoulder. Now 2v4.
Great pressure and pump faking from Hard as Foam there.
McIntyre in the corner, goes up to the line.
Beautiful.
Sends it right on DVS.
That's the movement I was talking about. Josue, especially in a pressured situation, gets sharp.
Heat seeker, open shoulder. He's targeted. Right on target. 2 balls. Byron Wong finishing it out. And now 3-2 lead.
Extremely efficient execution so far from both sides. That's why we're seeing it go back and forth. The pace isn't really out of control, so I'm curious if teams will try to slow this down or pick it up. Misfits now has the advantage on the false start because they don't have a warning. Sorry, advantage on the rush, not on the false start.
Yeah, Vincent Pham readies, passes, and target misses, and the counter hits, though.
Bit of a gamble there, but John Bell's now your first catch in for Misfits.
Heard a noise, but that was not on Williams. Burden to throw, Hard as Foam. On Stiebe, no, it is Burke. Throw, rare miss. Shots fired all around. Player off per piece.
Hard as Foam getting the Misfits to play into that trade game, though. While Hard as Foam is 1 player up, they have the advantage in that space.
Rusick Yeah, he is locked and loaded to charge post throw. Nothing doing this time. Burden again, hard as foam. In between targets. Quick in transition, they take out Coe.
Again, great execution from Misfits. That was well coordinated.
Really appreciate it. You can see here, they've got the player advantage because of that quick in transition work. Officer hopping out of the way. Williams trying to walk the dog, but it goes a little too low.
5, 4, 3.
As does the long throw. And that one is perfectly placed to tie Vinish's shoes.
I was about to say, it looks like Hardest Foam is really working to get Brandon Officer out, but hasn't been able to so far at this match, or this game. And it's,
Up and cut! Oh, a line out though. Are we gonna see that from?
looks like the line ref is up. Yep, they've stopped play.
Yeah, unfortunately, to make that catch happen, he had to kind of set his body back.
But in our current rule set, you only need to secure the ball as soon as the ref has the discretion to declare you've controlled the ball. It is a catch unless you've already stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, unless like kind of putting that hand or that foot back.
Exactly.
Ended his time on court. We're gonna have to talk to the captains to make it very clear.
Trying to clarify what happened exactly. I like to see this from our refs.
Yeah, no dispute happening there from Misfits.
So it looks like we're calling a catch and an out. So the catch is valid, steps out of bounds after having secured the catch, and therefore he's out as well.
Co-captain Chris Valance going up against 3 Misfits.
Looks like we're missing a ball. We have one on court. Misfits has 2 in hand, as does Valance.
So, not that we're useful there. That's a different color.
There we go. We've got one on the far court now.
Burden to throw then, hard as foam. Shot clock counting down against them. Missing Officer again. 2-ball block. Dangerous play here. Wow, it pays off. Boy, does it ever pay off.
That's John Bell's game. He wants to be up in your face and take that gamble. He knows he's got 2 teammates behind him, so he's very comfortable in that situation.
Bell is just like a hip shake, up, bam. Just like the moment he's able to survive, he has it.
Yep. And he's got a reputation as a catcher. That's why it's hard to hit him in that scenario. You can't just put it on his body. You have to respect his talent and his ability, and that means taking a well-placed shot rather than just putting it on body. That's how he gets away sometimes.
Timeout called. 3-3. Quarterfinals. Have any other potential MVPs been emerging for you?
I was thinking about Brandon Officer earlier. He was having trouble surviving early on, but in that last game, he was a critical factor. I believe we saw him take 3 outs. I think it'll be interesting to see if someone else can help Brandon Officer carry some of that load. Jordan's been surviving. He's the other one that comes to mind. Working that right corner opposite to Brandon.
Big catch moment.
Yep. With those 2 players not on the court, I think we'd be looking at a different story. But that's the nature of Misfits. John Bell can influence a match steadily throughout the game by drawing attention. I'm waiting to see that have a lasting effect. So far, it's kind of gone both ways. He's gotten out early, but then he's been able to finish a game like that. I want to see that trend in his favor.
Thanks to Brandon Officer, we've had like front row seats to 2,000 throws.
Yeah.
And you can see, like you said, there's like that gravitational force the top player can have.
Exactly.
And it's funny because they can often seem underrepresented for like big plays because if they're targeted again and again, what we know is that right side is wide open to action. And the beneficiary they had is that one moment they took out Chris Valance when he was just not paying attention to this end.
Exactly. And that's the trade. Brandon may not be surviving, but he is at least earning the attention of his opponent. So even if he's getting out, he's drawing the attention that creates the opportunity for his team to answer.
No damage this opening set. Here we are, 4 men heading to the line for hardest foam.
I like that movement on the back line from Gerard and the entire Misfits lineup. They're not static. They're making it hard for the opponent to target them.
It takes a lot just to not be in your emotions. You got these 4 enormous men heading to the line.
Absolutely.
very deceptive with their pump fakes. Von Stevie sends it.
And that might actually reveal my only criticism for Misfits at this point. They're playing so well as a team, but they are allowing Hardest Foam to approach all the way to the front line, just like on that last volley. Hardest Foam is extremely dangerous at 30 feet. I would like to see Misfits push back a little bit just to make sure that they're challenging that freedom.
One
That's
of
why.
like, if I could have an advanced stat, I'd call it time in the attack zone. It just being that slow to retreat. And we see it when kind of that intermediate teams that haven't really kind of made it to the top zone. Well, way to go.
Oh, live ball there. Gerard unaware of it, so couldn't make a play.
Burke trying to get small. Hard to do that one. Meanwhile, lots of balls on the Misfit end.
Looks like we have a timeout.
Timeout called, okay.
I believe that's Hardest Foam's timeout.
And 20, I kind of thought I saw like them.
It might have been. I didn't see who called the first one.
Okay,
I
they
assumed
might
it
have
was
been confirming
Misfits.
it. So, final 23 seconds in the first half. This will break the tie. Kind of like to continue that point is they are so quick to transition into offense and just go, but also so quick when they're done their offense to just reset at the back line. And if they can have their wings or corners, if you're more used to saying that, just be that slower. Or choose one who's going to push for a while the other retreats.
Yeah, both teams not really allowing either team to run at them aggressively. Misfits has gotten away with it a couple times. I'd be curious to see if Hardest Foam has an answer to that. That transition seems to be where teams are gaining the advantage and then carrying the game. But we're still looking at a tied match. This point may be critical.
Mateo on the left wing. They're very quick to go. Sending one, sending two. No limbs. Ko passing the ball out to the wings. Byron Wong getting one.
Huge play from Sam Ko there. To be able to get away from a 5-on-1 without losing a player, that's critical.
Push and hit before throwing. DVS unable to pull it in. Great throw, Montejo. Byron Wong.
Looks like the count was coming down. That was right before no block. So now we're going into the first half's no block. Each side resets with 3 balls apiece, and we're looking at 4-4.
Shout out how Wong uses you make your body smaller by pulling that secondary hand in. Sometimes you see people not knowing what to do with their other hand that's not holding a ball.
Yeah, there's a lot of real technique to that. 7-inch foam is a small ball to protect yourself with.
Both
fingers also count as an out. How you posture yourself, even your hand behind the ball matters significantly.
Now we are at the end of first half, no blocking, player advantage.
Ooh, beautiful curve from Vincent.
Yeah. Pham sends it to the ground though, not to Ko. Decker now in the right wing, ready, sets. He knows he's being targeted. Nothing on body though.
And Pete Decker, tricky target. He's one of those players that likes to be in your face, but he's a lethal catcher. And especially if you give him momentum, that guy can just run away with it.
And sends it ground first.
Yeah, I believe that was clearly ground first. Tough from our angle.
Strusik getting a ball.
Oh, are they calling a catch up here, or has he stepped out of bounds? Looks like Pete must have stepped out of bounds because I don't believe they called a catch on that.
That would be frustrating. 3v1. Ko ready to go. Missing Strusik. Tough situation against him though. Ball apiece for the Misfit men. Sends one, sends two, and in and out of the breadbasket. Strusik taking a risk there.
Yeah, Sam Ko is a master of the one-on situation. I've seen him close 1v6s.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And not necessarily with ease, but at a pace. He knows how to control the game one out at a time. And that was a beautiful example of how he can posture himself. Places the counter, gets the ball exactly where he wanted it from one of Misfits' best throwers. He very well could have made that catch.
The Battle of Cascadia right now. BC boys. Back to back to back to back. I don't know how many times in a row now. Champions and provincials.
One of the teams to beat. Everyone wants a shot at Hardest Foam.
As many as we've had competitive provincials, they've won them. Misfits, as you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, rising up. It's one of the things that is great in communities that have sufficient volume of teams. Misfits, they've been tied for 9th as their highest national rank in 2024. Local participants many years at the thing. Most recently 11th, they've had 9th, they've had 5th. So this would be their best finish, even if they lost.
True.
Top 4.
Yeah, I was looking to see how Misfits performed in round robin. I was talking to them earlier, and they had a very difficult matchup against Hardest Foam. My understanding is that Hardest Foam ran away with it. I was looking to see the score, if it was a shutout or if it was like they got a couple games. Because right now, Misfits is on top, and they eked out the critical game on that at the end of the half. This is really good to see.
Well, and it actually, like, also at the highest competitive level, when there are timeouts, like, it sounds weird to say, timing your timeouts and just what to do. It was like sometimes you see it in a 1v situation, you want to give that player a rest. In their case, it was like, hey guys, we want to take this. There was lots of players to be had for them, and just to have, and you can see they just, it was a full-on assault. Co stayed alive in that particular situation, but wow.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. We actually got to see some separation. That was closed as a 3v1. Most of these sets have finished in a 2-on or less.
Officer sends it. No connection. Burden to throw, Hardest Foam. And here you can see, Mike, why we have the riser. These
guys are kind of tall, aren't they?
And why I stand. And never mind the shoulders.
I might need a stool up here, to be honest. I am not tall, for anyone listening.
Pump fakes. Great pressure. Hard throw. Finish getting low. Officer sends it back, and he gets tagged. And it almost stayed on body.
It nearly rattled to his hand, but just bounced off as it approached the floor. Still 5-5. Teams are coming out in this half swinging. This is what we like to see.
Big rips. Von Stiebe missing. Williams getting up and out of the way. Pushing up. Both wingers providing great pressure. Struzik sends it. Goes off court.
Both teams starting to show some aggression now. Jacob Struzik running all the way to the front line, letting one rip, unable to place it, and then Hardest Foam does the same.
Meanwhile, I don't know if it's a bit of a switch up here. We got Vinish taking the right wing. Wong holding up center.
You're right. Cody's typically been playing the right. Cody may be resting this set.
Ko limbs.
It's a big out early in the set. Having Sam Ko off the court makes the end game much easier. You still got to get there, though.
Vinish now taking that right wing. Von Stiebe missing. What we haven't had is a ton of catches from Hardest Foam. I actually haven't witnessed that many on stream. And it could just be a factor of just great placement by Misfits.
Yeah, Misfits is definitely very wary of this team. They know how good they are. They've had this matchup in the past. And they had to learn from yesterday, right? Like, they didn't play well. The benefit of that in losing in round robin is it exposes what you need to improve.
Something I'm going to watch for is, like, Vinish has been tagged kind of early and often, which can one, frustrate a player, but then we're feeling it right now. But if that groove switch, then it's sort of that late MVP.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The momentum can carry with Hardest Foam very quickly.
Oh, wow. Just getting, man, it's like almost haircut day for Byron there. Just avoided clipping him, but it did hit Von Stiebe, a different throw. And Misfits are vibing.
Well, yeah, it looks like the pace is working out in Misfits' favor for this game.
Now 1v, everybody.
Wong very capable of turning this game. It's going to take some effort, maybe one out. One big catch, though, can put you in a much more favorable situation. He's not under pressure. The match is still close, so he can take his time with this. He doesn't need to rush.
Co-captain Wong on defense. Solo
Wise
throw.
to keep his distance. That's what Misfits wants. They want to invite him up the court.
Struzik play call with Williams. Officer, watch out for Officer. He's got the straight shot. Struzik calls his own number. Oh, nasty. Shoe shot.
Is about as good as it gets. That was a missile of a throw. Extremely well timed on an exceptional target.
And like very subtly, the nice part about that near ground shot is that nothing bounced up. Like if it hits shoulder and it's open, there's 5 other players that will absolutely Superman dive to get it. And a confirmed elimination. Great throw, Montejo, +2.
Yeah, it was a Beautiful throw there. I like the fact that he got well ahead of the rush. It allowed him time to actually stagnate his opponent. Even if he didn't have that hit, his teammate was prepared and more ready to get the hit because of how he played that. Rather than throwing the ball quickly from the back line, he sets his opponent or his teammate up for the following throw.
Well, C-base sitting. Willier on court. Again, watch finish. He sends it hard on target, taking out the captain for the Misfits.
Good answer. Interesting that Hardest Foam decided to offer a defensive rush, running one player for 3 balls and bumping the extra ball to the outside so they can be played in by the receiver. It's a good strategy, but they weren't able to survive, so they ended up sacrificing a player for it anyway.
Speaking of survivability, Officer's full body control. He gets tagged hard this time, but he avoided some greedy fingers and just absolutely pulled his body back just in time. Fam with the play call now. Misfits burden to throw.
Beautiful throws. Misfits doing an exceptional job of mixing up who's throwing the ball. It's making it very difficult for Hardest Foam to predict and survive.
If you're watching this in Canada, Misfits are putting on a clinic on how to compete against Hardest Foam.
Fortunately, Hardest Foam's shield is their sword. Their offense is their defense. They have matched every hit that Misfits has made, and they are still up 4-3 despite losing players.
A little bit surprised there wasn't a counterattack there, because like that Vincent Pham throw kind of has that kind of derriere open.
Yep.
Quick in transition. Balance targeted by Williams. Same with Vinish, but everyone's staying alive.
Missing by a hair.
So a bit of a risk to throw so many. That means there'll be a ball apiece for the Hardest Foam men. 2 targeted. Strusik stays alive with his great mobility. That ball seemed to hit ground
Refs
first.
are going to have to call it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. When you kind of feel it hit up into your chest when you're on the ground like that, that's a good sign.
Yep.
Turf sit. Sent back. Ankle biter.
Jacob lost his focus there for just a second. Looks like there was some pressure on the opposite corner that caught his eye and it left him exposed to that counter. Beautiful missile from Cody Burke to get that hit.
2-ball block. Pham readies. Vincent Pham. Feel like he's got like a 12-6 curveball because that was a lot of arc on his most recent throw.
He likes to put some top spin on it, but he's got some mix-ups.
Absolutely what you need at this level. Much like baseball, fastballs are not enough.
Absolutely. At this level, it's extremely hard to hit players unless you have at least 3 tools in your bag. And most of these players probably have 6 or more.
Willier taking a risk, getting the ball for Valance. Valance now is going to protect him. Is the target of Williams. Thanks to that ball, he's able to defend himself. Vinish, Burke, Valance. Hard throw, Williams stays alive.
Vincent really being aggressive on that opposite corner. It's risky, but he understands how critical it is to keep Jordan alive here.
That one. Jordan Williams unable to stay alive.
Vincent was a little static that time. He just kind of sat and waited and tried to survive. Left Jordan available to be targeted. It's difficult to maintain that kind of defensive pressure.
And a clip. I also like Willier hanging back, and it feels like if Pham were to counter, he's ready for a shadow catch.
Yep, that stagger and pressure. Extremely well executed from Hardest Foam. They controlled that all the way through.
Well, and here we can see a 2-point advantage, plenty of time, now a 1 point. Slow and steady, discipline.
All right, we're starting to think about our nominations for MVP here. I think we already have some standout candidates. What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, it's like, our minds constantly go to, Burke and Officer holding up. And like, if anything, we got our wings. Maybe Coe had his moments, and Williams. Although it's been such strong teamwork of Misfits.
Yeah, and I think the balance between their corners has really set them up for success from the beginning. I'm waiting for John Bell to do something to really get in the way of what Hardest Foam wants to do here.
Our eyes on him, and he has oh my goodness! Sam Coe, you're on the list.
Wow, I'd already given up on that ball. I can't believe he got underneath that.
It's so great because you mentioned we were watching the throw. He was about to get a double out. Coe now eliminated. Finish stays alive. Watch out for him. He's got ball in hand. Like I said, he's yet to be unleashed. The two Cody's on the right end. That's where my eyes are going. And Finish sends it hard on target.
Jake was willing to throw their third to last ball there, and it may have been an unnecessary sacrifice. Having 3 balls on defense may have been more beneficial.
And it is throwing the rock time for the Hardest Foam men. Williams, eyes up.
Hardest Foam knows Jordan very well. This is going to be tough for Jordan to come through.
He might have the gloves out.
Was that clean? No. It's like a dropped blocker, maybe dead ball. It's not a disarm to be clear. I believe Jordan dropped the ball he was holding, and the ball that came in hit his drop ball, because those would technically be opposing team balls. As soon as they touch, they're dead balls. He did catch it, but the ball was dead before it was caught.
Williams, 3 in hand. And there's 1 on the sidelines. Burden to throw, Misfits. Ready, sets, delivers 1. Wong goes upstairs, stays alive. Ball returns to him. Misses Wong 3 times.
Jordan playing very high up the court. I'd like to see him settle back a little bit and not overextend. That's why it's tough. Hardest Foam is a lineup of missiles.
Yes.
How do you dodge 4 missiles?
And really that one moment where he's sending 1, 2, 3 on Wong. Wong's survivability, which is like it's an underrepresented part of dodgeball, just that ability to kind of get out of the way. Of course, I guess we put it in the name, dodgeball, but
true. We tend to forget the dodging part. The value in that really is critical. It's one of the things that John Bell actually thrives on the Misfits side. He likes to play out of that middle to really funnel balls towards him, and allows his team to collect a lot more balls that may otherwise ricochet.
Well said. And we saw that highlight moment for him as he hops up and out of the way of a near point-blank shot from Valance. Valance, Wong, and Burke ready to go. Burke, winger-on-winger violence here, taking out Officer. Crucial moment of this set.
I think we have Burke as an obvious MVP of this match at this point. He's just been working that matchup against Brandon Officer to an extreme level. Brandon's struggling to survive, and that's really taking away one of Misfits' best weapons.
Williams, Coe, heroes throughout this match so far, but it's 5-5. We're all squared up. Big throw, better block. That casually confident block of Bell.
Coming up on 8.5 minutes left in the half and the match.
Finish, swiping out. Willier, good little moment there. That quick hustle to just get the ball to the sidelines. We do not want the ball rolling over to the other side. Strusik strafing out of the way.
Again, one of the most underestimated skills in dodgeball is peripheral vision. Being aware of where the balls are, while also being aware of what's in front of you. You can't turn around in this sport, so you have to have peripheral vision.
Even just for your own safety. Like when you ever see someone just like cold cocked with a ball and they didn't see coming.
Even as commentators, spectators, anyone around the court, like you have to have your eyes up viewing this sport.
100%.
At any point, a ball catching you when you're not ready for it is how concussions happen. It's why I think it's also a fairly safe sport, because it encourages that awareness. It's one of the interesting parts about dodgeball. At this level, concussions don't really happen, partially because we use 7-inch foam, but we also play cloth at an international level. That awareness is what protects you.
Surprising minute here as he solo throws. None of them is like that extreme. Willier unable to pull his in. Bell right on target.
Hardest Foam unwilling to go too high up the court.
McIntyre joined by, and don't call him friendo, Montejo.
Gerard might be making a case for himself in this match for MVP. Brandon Officer was in our mind, but
well, maybe it's just the left wing.
It may just be that left wing.
I see Vinish heating up. Outside hip shot. Now 3v2. Player advantage. Misfits.
Nice switch from John Bell. Good pressure from his corner to create that opportunity.
Well, he gets the ball back. That very active 2-ball block by Vinish. Kind of hope that they swipe. Whoa, Valance getting out of the way. the Monteo throw. You can see it arcing away from body.
You got to be wary because he's a left-handed thrower. That natural curve will bend the opposite direction that most players are used to. So if you shift to the left, that ball will curve towards you. If you're not prepared to catch it, it's an easy out.
Valance with an excellent block. Always great to just use that full. Oh, man. There's that power, the hard heat.
And showing his familiarity with Jordan as an opponent, Jordan tends to jump to dodge, and he's extremely good at it. But if you can time it well, when you jump, you lose control of your ability to dodge. He timed that perfectly. As soon as Jordan was at the peak of his height in the jump was when he threw the ball, leaving Jordan able to do nothing but catch it, and it was too low for him to get his hands on it.
So if you're ever playing him, note to self, Air Jordan.
Exactly.
Sneaky throw. Hey, there's a little MVP moment. How?
This is why John Bell's one of my favorite players to watch. Oh. Well, we got to make a decision here. Who our MVP is going to be? I've got Burke down for the hardest foam side. Oh my God!
If you wanted a case here,
This is the moment I was talking about. John Bell is patient and poised and trying to impose himself on his opponent, seeing the opportunity there and closing the game when it's critical. Misfits now up 6-5, and we are coming up on 5 minutes left in this match, guys.
And kind of no excuses for hardest foam there. Like sneaky to the point of maybe your energy is lower and you just couldn't get that foot out of the way. Coe staying alive, not Williams.
Do you think Vinish is making a case for himself here?
So Vinish, I can just feel him picking it up. That's for sure. I was hoping that for some heroics just a second ago, but we did see it on the other end.
Yeah, we're seeing him make some critical outs. I think he's going to be my nomination here. Vinish has done a great job of playing out of the middle. Survival has been a challenge for him, but when he's on the court, he's having an impact.
So I think the Codys have swapped heroics. First bit, Cody Burke, so watch out for him. He's been quiet the last 5+ minutes. He's now taking that right wing. Oh, hard throw by Valance.
Valance doing the same thing to Jake Struzik that he just did to Jordan. Misfits needs to lean into that lateral motion. Survival's got to be their priority.
The heat is coming. There we go, Burke. Willier, fresh arm. My eyes are on him after Valance's throw. He does it. He turfs it low. McIntyre staying alive to talk to teammates. He gets a second ball. Coe checking with teammates.
We're standing behind him.
Confirmed the
Yeah, John can tell. Thrower usually can tell what happens with that ball, but good on the refs to take their time to make that call.
And now is your opportunity. We've been talking about who's the most valuable, but you get to determine VC Dodgeball's player of the match. And Burke is a limb, same with Willier. Captain Valance. Let's see what you can do.
2-for-2 exchange there, 4 consecutive outs.
Big rip. Takes out the ball retriever, Vincent Pham. 2v1. Watch out for Officer. That unbelievable movement of his throws could be the difference maker. Valance, he's got 2 in hand. Incredible body control. Tricky throws. Sends it. Oh!
Misfits really putting on the pressure there.
+2.
They had me nervous taking throws that close to the front line. If they had missed that throw, that could have been the turning point, but just able to get a finger and get the win.
Valance often doing that 2-ball block and then into a sprint.
That shifts all the pressure onto hardest foam at this point.
This set is it.
2.5 minutes on the clock here. Misfits really has no reason to play at a fast pace. They can take their time because they can technically lose one game and still win this match.
Speaking of time, timeout is called.
Oh, I see. We're back to 3 minutes after the timeout. So we do have enough time. If hardest foam really comes out aggressive, which they are very capable of doing, they could get an early win so that they don't have to rush the following set. It's a bit of a gamble to do that against a team like Misfits, though. I would expect they're ready for that, and Misfits is going to settle back. They're not going to allow hardest foam to play fast. Hardest foam is going to have to do that on their own. Every opportunity they get from the back line is going to have to be coordinated rush, but that may not be their best strategy. It comes down to what they feel their strengths are in this moment.
The grips come out for hardest foam. This is theirs. Question is, are they targeting Williams or Officer early?
And this is the late stage of the match. This is the time to start being more conscious of how players' arms are doing. You may be wearing out after 35 minutes of play. This may be the opportune moment to go for those catches and make the plays that you need.
My eyes are on Bell. He was so huge the last couple minutes.
And Misfits hasn't really exercised the opening rush consistently. I'll be curious to see how aggressive they are here.
Tossing it to Bell. He rips it in between targets.
A well-placed ball, just a little wide of the foot.
Everyone's safe. Burden to throw, hardest foam.
Just under 3 minutes left here.
Up and out.
Oh,
the catch! Big cheers coming from the sidelines. The hometown heroes, Monteo, a limb and catch. He stays up at the line. Officers, wide throw, Co staying alive. 2-player advantage, ball advantage, hardest foam.
Misfits now ahead with momentum, but the challenge for them is going to be managing that adrenaline. Do you use it, do you channel it, or do you slow this game down? They're up 2 points. There's no need for them to rush along with that adrenaline.
2 minutes and change. Williams confirmed a limb. That's a big change here.
Balance really stepping up when he needs to. The last couple of games, he's been the monster on this left corner.
The heat he can throw this far into the tournament. No limb, but that resets the shot clock. Time is not the friend of hardest foam right now. Misfits may hit the brakes. It's not a big lead.
I like the composure from hardest foam there. Cody yelling from the back right corner to get his team to check and maintain 3 balls on defense. Recognizing that they're down 4-5 right now. It's not the time to overextend. They need this win. They have to control the set.
Must win set. Every second that clicks by is in favor of Misfits.
We're already approaching 1 minute left.
Officers swiping that ball away. So we're not seeing that quick end transition work anymore. No need if you're Misfits.
Exactly. Hardest foam can explode, but Misfits won't respond that way.
That's tricky when a team just like hits the glue. Enter! Oh, Bell! Oh, that is the moment and a timeout call to settle it down. Oof, and the limb.
A master at work. John Bell knows exactly what hardest foam wants to do there. Puts his body high on the court, right up at the front line, just to entice the opportunity, knowing full well he's going to rock back to his butt just like he did and make that catch.
Final minute. Is there anything that can be done?
That may seem like a gamble, but that was a very intentional play from John Bell. He may have dropped it, but he also knows his team has the advantage there. If he does drop it, it's not the end of the world.
It's a very asymmetrical reward, right? He's out, he's out. Even if he was bobbling it, he could have just knocked it up.
Absolutely. He got under the ball for that reason. And now he's put hardest foam in a position where they have to play desperately. They have less than a minute to close this game in a 2-on-5.
And I know maybe these are one of those moments where I would want foam to be very clear on a valid throw. It's just like these balls need to be near these hardest foam men.
Yep.
And the temptation is to turf it, have it go wide. All right, we're gonna have it. Yeah, so I think I just saw that there. Like, no sailing that ball high.
Good communication from the refs.
That is a lot of Misfits to take out right now inside of a minute. No more timeouts.
And to clarify, if time expires, we roll into no block to finish this game. That may be the strategy of hardest foam. If they're more confident playing this out in a no block setting, they may just try to survive.
But with 2 points.
Oh, true. They need to close it in order to use the no block.
They have to tie it up in no block.
Pressure's entirely on hardest foam then. They need multiple outs on singular throws here.
Now, if they can have those balls have eyes, and it's 1 out, that's 2 out.
Oh, that's 2.
Officer crosses the line.
Final
and another hit, and another hit. Okay, it's 2v2. Yes, it's 2v2. That's confirmed.
30 seconds left on the clock.
That is the best possible scenario that could have ever happened.
Short of Cody surviving, but yes, the execution for Balance has been on point.
Captain Valance, 25 seconds left. Anything better? 1v1?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe Jake got out on that. Was that a hit or did he step out of bounds?
My eyes were on Bell.
He must have stepped out of bounds. I don't think there was a hit. The pressure from Balance enough to get another out.
The wind of his throws.
It's that ferocity. Hardest Foam is so capable of putting on that kind of pressure.
5 seconds. The time matters. This shot has to happen.
John Bell closing the second half for his team. What an upset. Misfits struggled with this team yesterday, and they just turned it on when they needed to. And that's nothing but respect to Hardest Foam. That is a team that you have to work through, and Misfits put in the work.
Wow.
Balance doing a great job there, really making it difficult for Misfits to play, kind of putting the pressure back on them in the end game.
Hometown heroes, cheers galore. Highlight moment so far.
John Bell giving me shit over here. Excuse the language. He's one of my favorites, one of my rivals. I'd love to see him be successful in a setting like this. All right, we got a player interview coming up for you guys. We're pulling John Bell in as our MVP, I believe, for the Misfit side. Gotcha. Cody Burke won the MVP vote, but John Bell, having played for the winning team, gets his selection for the interview. They'll be advancing, so it'll be interesting to see what John Bell has to say about how he feels they just played. The scoreboard may not have reflected that, but that was a very exceptional play from Misfits. They really didn't show any weaknesses throughout that match. Yeah, what's our next match here? Looks like we've got Valkyrie and Invasion, and this is the women's quarterfinal, I believe. Yes, this is the women's quarterfinal coming up. We've got the number 1 seed Valkyrie versus the number 9 seed Invasion. Invasion, in my opinion, may have underseeded yesterday. I don't know what caused that. I didn't get to watch them play very much. I did get to see their opener today. They played exceptionally well. I believe last I scored it was 6-2, and they got that win. Valkyrie, though, one of the teams that knows how to control the game. I believe they have the former head coach of Team Canada, Berkeley, on their team, and it looks like the coordination has been proving through this tournament. Looks like we're